Big boy on the rails. Everybody, welcome back to Old Frail and Decrepit. This time we're going to have a look at a little problem we had here in the train room. You ever have one of them days where you come down, you grab a locomotive, throw it on the track, and it doesn't work? Then a day or so later, you take another one out and it doesn't work. Another day, another one doesn't work. At that point, you begin to question whether you're actually cut out for this hobby. Question whether you actually know what you're doing. You start checking things like, did I plug in the transformer? Did I actually turn on the power? And then I come to the conclusion, it must be gremlins. Those mean little critters that creep in just to cause trouble. Well, in the end, I don't think that's what it was. So, come along, watch the video, find out what the real problem with these locomotives was. They're not all easily explained. And watch them run, because after all, what's a train video if you're not going to run any trains? So, thanks for watching. Now this was the Scout locomotive that I got a few years ago in a big box of train stuff. And as you can see, it's been tactfully weathered with paint spatter, dust, and grime. I have actually brushed this off, and this is as clean as it gets. Which, after looking at it, I decided, you know what? I kind of like the looks of that one. But last week when I went to pull it out of the drawer, the plate that holds the pickup shoes had snapped off on this rear end. I don't know if you can see too well, but there's a crack right there, and it goes all the way up across, and that whole piece fell off. So when I pulled it out of the drawer, this was dangling, and this piece was just held in by the screw. And I thought, now wait a minute. It wasn't that way when I put it away, because I'd been using it. And I'd put it away, and it was broken when I pulled it out. Now, that's kind of a mystery, isn't it? That wasn't the only mystery we had. I had an idea for a video, and I got this 1666 out. Now, I had bought it. It was kind of a fixer-upper when I got it. And I had used it some. It hadn't run real good, but I had got it to run. But it didn't have a coupler, which I made a coupler for it. Because, well, I'm too cheap to go out and actually buy original equipment parts unless I can get them really cheap. So I had picked up, or I just made this part, put it on there. Now, this, when I pulled it out last week, it wouldn't run at all. In fact, every time I put power to it, it tripped the circuit breaker. I thought, oh, wait a minute. It wasn't doing that before. So I thought, you know what? I just need to have a look at that, because it was running when I put it away. So I took it apart, and sure enough, the wire running out to the headlight had lost part of the jacketing, and it was touching inside here. and shorting out. So, all right, it's from the 1950s or 40s. Yeah, I could see it falling apart. It's just kind of odd to put it away running and then to pull it out and it wouldn't run. Now this one really baffled me. This is a Marx 1829. It's a 464. Now, again, I had picked it up as a fixer-upper because, hey, anybody can buy a locomotive that works, right? Well, this one was kind of rough. You know, it had a lot of corrosion on the pickup shoe and it was missing one of these axles and wheels back here. But when I went to put it on the track, it immediately bound up and wouldn't move. I thought, now what is going on with that? Somehow, the wheels had gotten out of quarter. Now, how they get out of quarter sitting in a drawer is a little beyond me. So I ended up pulling 4 of the 6 drive wheels off, realigning everything, and with the help of little Loctite, the red stuff, the so-called permanent stuff, I put it back together and I've run it, and we're going to run it again today. Oh, back here where it was missing a set of the wheels, what I did was I took some S-scale American Flyer trucks apart that I had. I've gotten rid of my S-scale stuff now, but I still had a bunch of leftover parts. So I took those wheels, and the amazing thing is they're a perfect fit. So I had to trim down an axle, a Marx axle, so it fit, because this is just a little narrower and it's not open on the ends like so many of the 6-inch tin are. So I took one of the axles, trimmed the ends off of it, put those American Flyer wheels on there, and rather than having to buy a brand new truck for that, I now have a complete truck with that. And even though the Gremlins kind of struck on this locomotive, it is running, and it is running very well now. So that kind of tells you the surprising things that I had last week. In fact, I was starting to get a little bit of a complex where all in one week you pull 3 locomotives out that had been working, and they're all either broken or not working. So now, enough of my whining and complaining. Let's get them on the track and run them. So what do you think? You think I got gremlins in the train room? Sure looked like it a few days ago. And watch for this little locomotive here, this Lionel 1666. We're going to see it again in a future video. Oh, and I wanted to mention, it's got the four-wheel truck here in the back. That was my work. I didn't have the proper one. So, being it's old, frail, and decrepit, I just grabbed something that I had laying around here loose and attached it underneath. So now I've got a 264. Not everybody's got one of those. But thanks for watching.